the confirmation of charges hearing, many victims of the atrocities of LRA huddled around television sets and watched as judges read out charges to Ongwen. Ongwen, a former LRA commander of the Sinia brigade, was charged with over 70 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity committed in Abok, Pajule, Odek and Lukodi camps.
Tomorrow, I think, is a very important day for the court, an important day for Uganda, an important day also in particular for the victims of crimes for which Mr. Ongwen is allegedly responsible. And I use the word allegedly because tomorrow is the beginning of the trial against Mr. Ongwen.
The ICC registrar is now in town to assure the victims that justice will be dispensed.
It is historic because for those victims it is about accountability. It's about the question as to whether Mr. Ongwen was indeed responsible for the crimes for which he has been alleged. It is also historic and important because those proceedings give a voice to those victims. Their views are going to be heard. Their statements, their position, their views will reach the courtroom, will be explained in the courtroom.
Hebel says his office has facilitated 2 legal teams to regularly communicate and help the victims make submissions to court as part of evidence.
Over 4,000 victims that are participating in the proceedings. And of course you can imagine that not all 4,000 victims are in the courtroom themselves physically. That of course is impossible. So the way we organize that is that they have actually there are 2 teams of lawyers, of legal representatives that represent those victims.
With the trial of Dominic Ongwen starting tomorrow at The Hague, which is miles away, officials of the court are now devising means to bring justice closer to the people where the massacres happened, in places like Lukodi. And this is one of the ways.
He also says the court will offer witness protection for the people who testify,
to ensure that each witness will get the required support and protection that may be needed. And protection can be all kinds of measures, and if necessary, sometimes even the relocation of witnesses to other parts of the world.
The registrar, however, said the ICC will decide to offer reparations only after the court verdict.
By the end of the proceedings, if Mr. Ongwen were to be found guilty, but of course that remains the responsibility of the judges to determine that. But if that were to be the case, then we also come to the situation of potential reparations for victims. And victims may, of course, be very much interested in to see that reparations can be provided for the harm that has been brought to them as a result of the crimes that have been committed.
However, this protracted legal process could take a while.
So the process will be long, but the process is important. And one of the most important aspects of the trial is the fact that victims will actively participate in those proceedings.
Herman Von Hebel, NTV.
It is a very important moment that today they see how a confirmation of charges is going to take place.